Hi, Skip here. I'm going to name this video a bonus video. I wasn't originally planning to really go way into this at this point, but in the previous video, I had talked about in session 2 target marketing, subcategories in target marketing, and keywords and how they interact, how we use them to some extent. But it's really a subject that I think deserves a little more attention. Over time, and I remember when I first started hearing terms of split testing and keywords and keyword phrases, long tail keyword phrases and these different things. And I had some understanding, I kind of got it, and I knew that when you write copy or you do titles or whatever, you've got to be mindful of the keywords. It is vitally important that we understand and utilize keywords and split testing to their maximum advantage. The idea that you run an ad, you think of a catchy phrase and you run an ad and people are going to come running, build it and they will come, that just doesn't exist anymore. There was a time when that was true to some extent. 20 years ago I wrote a book on dominating Google. And it was really spot on at the time, and I was able to post an ad, post a video, post an article, whatever I was doing, and get top of the page, front page every time. And there were some simple techniques for doing it. The concept hasn't changed dramatically, but the methods that you get there are totally different today than they were back when. Algorithms and stuff that you deal with and that didn't exist, and they continue to change, by the way. That's why one of the things you want to do is you want to learn how to be completely independent in your marketing effort and understand some things so you can stay ahead of the curve. When Google changed its algorithms, all of a sudden affiliate marketers were being blocked out, and a whole lot of people that lost their businesses entirely. And it's also one of the reasons that whatever you do, you want to, you need to, you have to establish multiple streams of income. If you don't have multiple streams of income, one day something's going to change, you lose the whole thing and you start over. And so everything I do centers, in fact the program, the 4% challenge I talk about, focuses on multiple streams of income contained within the program itself, and it's kind of cool. So anyway, let me get back on point here. When we talk about subcategories and marketing and whatnot, and particularly where it comes to Bing ads, you'll always, by the way, pay for a certain amount of your advertising. And when you scale a business, if you're doing it smart, you have a percentage of your income that always goes towards your marketing. And the more money that you make and that's coming in, the more money you spend on your advertising. It's always going to be a factor. Just know that that's real. Well, right now, Bing Ads is one of the most efficient places that you can go to post ads. But you need to learn the system a little bit. And you need to understand the whole concept of split testing. Now, I am currently running 4 different ads under one ad group. And it's so much fun to watch and see which ones get all the attention. And there's, in the number of impressions that it's drawing, there's a big difference from one to the next. And I've got one particular one that's just really, really getting a lot of impressions, and consistent with that, it's the one that's getting all the clicks. So you learn which ones and which phrasing, which word combinations are going to work the best in your advertising, and you monitor that because you put in multiple ads. Well, each of those ads was built out of an understanding of keywords. In some systems, on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, you have a certain number of keywords that you can use, and you're kind of limited. In Bing, you're really not. You can take a keyword search and come up with a list. It might be 100 names, it might be 200 names, or variations on your keyword phrase. And all those keyword phrases and whatnot, you can dump them all into your advertising in Bing, and Bing will show you which ones are getting the most attention, which ones are getting the most clicks, which ones are prominent. And so as you go along, you eliminate the ones that just are not being effective, and you focus on the ones that continue to be effective, and make sure you build those into your ads. So there's a process that goes on here. And it is critically important if you really want to make the big bucks. If you really, and it's not just about the money. You know, if you want the lifestyle, if you want this to succeed, if you want to end up in the 4%, you know, and you know, I take these little, you know, I see something shiny and I'm off to the races. You know, the 4% concept is so important. 96% of the people that attempt online marketing or most things will fail or fail to achieve what it is they set out to achieve. There's only 4% that ever really make it to the top echelon. That's just it's just a statistic, and it applies to a lot of things, and certainly applies to internet marketing, online resources. It just does. And so I'm hoping that I'm speaking to some either 4%ers or people who have the drive, the will, and the passion to drive towards being a 4%er. It takes a commitment. It takes a willingness to learn. You have to be open and willing to not only learn but ultimately share what you've learned. And these are the things that are important to become a 4%er. That 4% of the population that just makes it, they make it to whether it's 6, 7 figures, 8 figures, whatever it is you want to generate in income. And again, the income is important. It dictates your quality of life. For myself, the drive is all a matter of quality of life, and money is an interesting unit to measure. I like the idea that today, when I'm done shooting this little video, I will, you know, get dressed for the day to go out. I live here in Arizona. We're going to a wine festival, and we're going to spend a good day, a bit of the day there. It's about an hour's drive away from here. We're going to have a nice time. And I have the option to do that, and I can do that. Yesterday, it was a Friday. I got together with some really good friends of mine. We had lunch and chatted, and you know, a nice time and whatnot. And I wasn't restricted by a boss or by a time card or any of that kind of thing. I don't like being restricted by all that stuff anymore. I like the lifestyle where I can choose what I'm going to do when I'm going to do it, and that's what this is all about. And hopefully, the information I'm giving you is going to help you establish a path towards that. So that's why this little bonus video, if you will. You really need to learn about the keywords. In Bing, they've got a keyword extractor there that's very good, very efficient. And you can dump in 100, 200 keywords, whatever you like, put it all in the system, and the system will tell you which ones are working, which ones don't. And by process of elimination, you can focus on the ones that get the best results. There's just a lot of good things that go on with the Bing. It's one of the more efficient paid advertising formats that there is. So I'm not going to continue to go on this a lot, but I want you to be aware of the value of split testing, finding out which ads run the best, and other things like ad extensions and various things in the system that you can learn about. All the tutorials are there, and all you got to do, and this is one of the areas where I really appreciate their service, is call and ask. There's a support system and people that will help you, and if you have a question on how to do something or the importance of a particular issue, they'll help you with that. So I wish you well with this. Take the time and learn, and you're going to be frustrated at times, whatnot, but if you're willing to fight through the frustrations, trust me, you will have an amazing result. You just got to step through some of the pieces of the puzzle, and you'll be there. And I really, in my heart of hearts, I want to see people succeed for their own benefit. That's really what this is all about. It's about quality of life. It's about building relationships. I'm so grateful for the mentor that didn't give up on me, that stayed in touch, and that we talked. And he's the one that turned me on to Bing Ads. And I'm ever grateful for that. And then there's Vic, the fellow that actually was his mentor, and now I'm learning from and have been. There's extraordinary possibilities if you really want to take it, grab it, and run with it. And hopefully these videos will help you in the process. Much more to come. Much more to come. I just wanted to leave you with some thoughts relative to the whole concept of split testing and keywords, the value of that, and the fact that you really want to dive in and use it. If you've got any real questions while you're working on those systems, don't hesitate to call support, because they'll help you with it. So anyway, I wish you a blessed day, and I will be putting together the next stage of the training. This is kind of a supplemental training I'm throwing in. And so I wish you all the best, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.